Welcome everybody. I have the great pleasure and honor to be here today with Andy Chan, co-founder of Qupital. Welcome, Andy.
Thank you, Karina.
Great to have you in the show. Before we dive into the great news, tell us a little bit more about Qupital.
All right, Qupital is a platform where we link up SMEs with the need of trade finance with professional investors on the other end who are willing to fund these SMEs. And through our platform, we can link up the two parties for win-win equitable opportunities.
Wonderful. If you would need to describe in which way is your business model disruptive and how do you leverage technology to deliver that?
We are disruptive because right now in the SME market it's very hard to get lending if we do not have collateral from the traditional players. So with us, whether the SME is doing trade finance with receivables financing or they do trade finance with e-commerce financing, we can provide very quick and easy access to capital for them. And on the other end of the market, investors in this very low interest rate environment, especially for US dollars and Hong Kong dollars, it's hard for them to find short-term investment opportunities. And Qupital is a platform that offers an attractive new asset class for them.
Fantastic. And you had a tremendous growth. You started in 2016 and now just raised your third round. So after a successful seed round, then another round where Alibaba and Mindworks already came on board to now the Series A of $15 million US. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a little bit about more, what are your expansion plans? What do you use the money for?
Right now, we are only based in Hong Kong, financing Hong Kong SMEs. So the next stage of our expansion is integrated China. So we want to open offices in Guangzhou, Shanghai, Hangzhou, where there's a lot of cross-border e-commerce players. Because the cross-border e-commerce market in China is growing very rapidly. Compound annual growth over 20% year on year. So this is going to be a huge, exciting opportunity for us, and we hope that we can, help out SMEs across the region.
Fantastic. Yes. Going back a little bit to your clients, the SMEs, what would you say in these, couple of years that you exist? How have you really shaped and modified and facilitate their businesses?
Yeah, a lot of these SMEs, they have a great team, a great product, selling to amazing customers, such as 7-Eleven, Amazon, Costco, but their real problem is cash flow. So they are waiting, 60, 90 days to receive payment every time they deliver their goods. So with us, we are able to get them cash immediately so they can do more business. And we see a lot of these SMEs that we financed grow their revenues and sales a lot, over 20% every year after using our service.
Right, fantastic. So with that now, the expansion going into China, looking a little bit into the use of funds, is it mostly that you will recruit more people to have more people on the ground in China, or what are your plans?
Yeah, we want to recruit more people on the ground in Hong Kong as well. We want to have a strong credit team, technology team in Hong Kong. And then also in China, we want to have sales offices in Guangzhou, Hangzhou, and Shanghai, whether we hire local or we hire local, Chinese talent, and then really as they get to know the market better, and then we can, have confidence to expand there.
Fantastic. So yeah, a clear expansion strategy with then, when you look for your investor, right, in the round, that comes the question of how do you identify your ideal investor, and specifically when you're very clear about this is all about going and exploring the China market.
Right. So our lead investor in our Series A round was CreditEase, one of the largest FinTech conglomerates in China.
Yeah.
They have a very strong presence there and a lot of expertise. So they were an ideal partner for us coming into this new stage of our evolution. So for us, CreditEase is not only a financial investor, they're also a strategic investor. They bring a lot of FinTech knowledge and knowledge about the market and also risk control. So there can be a lot of knowledge exchange between us. And then secondly, they have a lot of offshore capital as well from their wealth management business. And this can be linked up to our platform as well, and as an additional funding source for our SMEs.
A little bit as a learning for all entrepreneurs that are going through fundraising rounds. So how did you go about it? You have clearly identified particular parties that you want to approach, or have you been approached? How did the Series A come to close?
We did reach out to our networks and. So our existing investors, our business associates, and really try to broaden out the reach of the news that we're raising around. And CreditEase and other investors were able to get connected to us. And then from there on, there was many different conversations, and eventually we settled with an ideal investor for that round.
Fantastic. And so you have been very clear on your milestones and what you want to achieve. Do you think the investor came with different milestones, or were you both looking at the same objectives and aligned very easily?
Yeah, we both see that the SME market is very underserved in Hong Kong. We also see that the opportunity there in China is also very large. So we have a very similar mission statement in that to bring financial services to the underserved, and that is where we really align because we have the same mission and values.
Right. Yeah. Now the question is then, why did you start in Hong Kong? And very often we get the question about Hong Kong being a relatively apparently small market if you take the size of the population, but then in financial services has huge opportunities. What is your story? Why did you start in Hong Kong?
Right. Hong Kong is where my family was originally based in the 80s, and then they moved to New Zealand in the 90s. So actually I have a family and a root here. So for me, Hong Kong is a large market actually in the B2B segment. Yes. There are over 340,000 SMEs in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is actually 7th in the world in export volume, ahead of regions such as France or even the UK. So there's actually a lot of opportunity here in terms of SMEs and in terms of export trade finance. So and on the other side of the market, Hong Kong is a financial center. There are a lot of funds, there are a lot of family offices, there are a lot of banks. So in terms of the funding source to be able to provide for our platform, both sides of the market are there. And I think Hong Kong is an ideal place for me to start as well. I'm English speaking and also Cantonese speaking, so it was a great place for Qupital to get started.
Yes, I fully agree, and I think that's why it's always important to stress, right? Also, particularly on the B2B side. And is it particularly the connectivity, the ease of networking, of doing business, of people being very pragmatic, very open, quick to actually FinTech adoption? What would you say was the key factor?
Everyone is close by. There's a lot of connectivity. The networking events here are very productive, and people are very open-minded, especially in the startup space. So everyone's looking for new opportunities to work with others, and it's a great environment.
No, fantastic. And now obviously we all look to you as well and help, also other startups make the move into the Greater Bay Area and China. Where do you see any major opportunities in that concept of Greater Bay Area? How can, that be leveraged for Qupital to boost its growth?
Definitely, I think talent is a great area that is going to be more interconnected, because once the region has been able to have that connectivity, whether it's logistically or through policy, then there's more flow of talent and an increase in the entire pool of candidates that you can work with. Mm-hmm. So I think that especially in technology, it is a field where people can work remotely and but at the same time still be very productive as part of the team. So I think technology and able to work remotely as well is able to bring talent from Hong Kong to the Greater Bay and also from the Greater Bay to Hong Kong as well.
Great. And where do you see your next milestone and when? How fast do you want to achieve your next milestone?
We want to get ready and expanded into China. Our next milestone will be profitability. Mm-hmm. So that is going to be a very exciting time for us. We'll be growing in double digits every month. So we'll get there soon. Yeah.
Fantastic. And where do you see yourself in 5 years? Have you already projected yourself that far outward?
Right. We do not only want to be, the market leader in SME trade finance in Hong Kong, but we want to be that leader in Greater China and also the rest of Asia as well.
Fantastic. Do you already have an idea after China, which country, which region is next?
We're looking into Southeast Asia and with countries with a lot of export volume, whether that's Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand. Yeah.
Great expansion plans, fast pace. What is your biggest threat? What keeps you awake at night?
I think attracting talent and making sure they are happy in the company and they stay for a long term. That's very important for us because there's a lot of competition, from established large players, other FinTech companies to attract talent as well, especially right now in Hong Kong. And, being able to manage that and make sure that they have the same visions and mission and values as us, and then also able to bring in their own stories and into our culture. So I think attracting and making sure our talent is happy is a challenge for us, but we're happy to do it.
Great. Yes, so the company grew very fast. I think we mentioned before you grew up to over 60 people. How diverse is your team?
Yeah, we come from a lot of different industries, a lot of different backgrounds, and then also international backgrounds as well, different countries speaking a lot of different languages. So it's a very diverse team, and we're happy to have it. Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, you mentioned entrepreneurship can be a tough ride. What keeps you going? What is your startup passion?
My startup passion is being able to wake up in the morning and work with a great team, people with all this diverse, different talents, different ideas, and everyone's motivated to move in the same goal. That's my startup passion.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Andy. It was such a pleasure having you here with us today. And again, congratulations for this exciting and wonderful and successful recent fundraise. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karina.